right, what's up, guys? Can you hear me all right?
Yes. How's it going, Mike?
Oh, good. Just landed, just got back to Dallas. How you guys doing?
I can tell from your favorite chair.
My favorite chair. That's it.
I saw it on the shopping list on Amazon. I was showing it to my wife. I'm like, oh, look at that, my favorite chair.
There it is. Awesome. Let's see. Who else do we got on the call? We got Chad and Demetrius. What's up, guys?
What's going on, Mike?
How we doing?
Doing good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, doing pretty damn good.
Awesome. I saw your DM, by the way. I've just been totally smoked the last few days. So we can we'll set up some time to reconnect. But quite frankly, I need to spend more time mapping out what that program looks like before I can give you more details.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously wasn't something pressing. Just saw it, threw it out there, and would have revisited it in a week if, yeah, no big deal.
Okay, cool. Demetrius, what's up, buddy?
Doing good. Getting ready for all the stuff from Wayfair to come in on this whole week. So
Excellent. All right, so why don't we start with you, Bernie? What questions you got this week?
Don't really have any questions. Just with my noise aware, I had trouble with it from day one. Like it only stays on connected for the first week. First time I did it stayed connected for like a week, and I didn't notice right away they went offline. And then when I reset it, it only stayed on like less than 24 hours, like literally like 23 hours. And I've done it like 3 other times because I don't get to go into the house much. But each time I've reset it, it's only like 23 hours. So I told it, I was going to copy you on the tech support email because I told them, I'm like, I know you're going to tell me I don't know something about my network or something like that. I'm like, but there could be a chance that the unit is faulty. So
Yeah.
they have to say.
So did you call them yet?
Yeah, I did the support online on the app, and then they emailed me back, and the guy's name was Alex. So I replied back to him. He asked me a bunch of questions about the network, about other stuff, and I put in all my answers. And then I said, oh, by the way, I know Mike Shrogan, so I know you guys know him real well. I said, if that helps anything.
Cool. Yeah, I'm either going there tomorrow or Thursday, but I think we're gonna do another visit over there.
Okay.
But they're usually pretty good about getting back to you, to at least troubleshoot it with you over the phone, because I think they can run some diagnostics and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I don't want
Because
to
that happened with my first couple, but when they came out with the newer versions, I haven't had that issue.
Okay.
So
I don't really want to undo anything in my network because everything else is working real well. The Nest works real well. The cameras work real well. So I'm afraid to mess with any of the settings because those are really the important ones. I mean, all my guests have been like really, really quiet. When it does work, it was picking up hardly nothing. Really ever home. So I'm definitely not a party destination. So I'm not really worried about that.
okay, good.
But I'll take
All
my
right.
for it.
Okay, cool.
That's it. No questions about the business just yet.
Okay, sounds good. Chad, why don't you go?
So I know we spoke about the property manager that I'm close with in Philly, and she's still sending us properties. We're still waiting to hear back from the owner of the property we really like. The issue is his tenant left the property but is still paying through March, so he's not in a particularly rush to rent it immediately. What I've done is I've organized my list over the people I've met in real estate in the last 12 months, and it's just been slowly texting them, 2 to 3 day, setting up calls with them, explaining what I do and seeing if they can partner with me, refer me somewhere, and all of them have been receptive. Everybody knows somebody that owns a property, and it's much easier than cold calling somebody.
Okay.
So I have a lot of seeds and webs out.
Okay, I like that approach. So instead of calling, you are, sorry, how did you say that you were working for the referrals again?
Oh, I'm just texting people to set up phone calls. So I set up phone calls with them, explain what I do, and then ask if they can refer me to somebody, or, I'm offering to partner with them, because most of the people that I'm texting are smart people and they don't want referral fees. They don't care about the $250. They would want to partner on this. So I've offered to partner with them if they can get me into they can connect me with an owner on a property that's willing to rent with us and do the the master lease.
So they want to get a piece of the recurring revenue.
Yeah. So I would force them to invest, and they wouldn't get a dollar for dollar investment piece, but they're smart enough to know that if they refer me this, I'm gonna make money, and they want in on the action.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just wondering for you, I just don't want to see you give up too much of the deal.
No, I won't give up more than 10%.
10% of your 20 or your 25?
Oh no, we're not partnering with owners. I'm looking to master lease and then give up 10% of that.
10% of what? Your cash flow?
Correct.
Okay.
They would invest. I would force them to invest somewhere around 20%, and then they would make, so if we bought furniture and it was worth $10,000, they would have to invest $2,000. They would have to invest $2,000, and then they'll get 10% of the net profits.
Now, who are these folks? Are these owners? That's what I'm a little confused on.
No, these are just people. Okay, sorry, I probably explained this horribly, but these are people that I've made connections with. And so I'm calling them up and asking them, do they know owners? Some of them are owners themselves. Most of them, I'm asking for referrals.
So this is your personal network of
Correct.
connections.
Correct.
Okay, I gotcha.
Now my personal network, I've offered them referrals, but they don't seem particularly excited by referrals. They would help me just to help me for free. And the ones that won't would want a bigger piece of the action.
Gotcha. I like it. I think it's smart. I mean, know, like, and trust. You leverage your network. When I was at that Grant Cardone conference last year on like day one, he basically held up his phone and he's like, everybody's so afraid to like pick up the phone. And he basically made everybody in the audience just call somebody that they knew and just ask them for a referral. Like, who do you know that needs my service?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're doing. So I like it.
Yeah. It's just so much easier than cold calling, just asking to introduce me to a property manager. So anybody who might have a touch in real estate, or anybody on my phone that's over 50 years old, got a call as well, because they're people of older age, they typically know people who have rental properties.
Yep. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay, cool. So do you have any questions for me on that stuff, or just in general?
Nah, not really. I mean, I just wanted to hop on the call and just be here in case anybody else had any questions, or see if what I was doing could be improved upon.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that model. You could even toy around with, like, instead of like 250, you give them like 500. I feel like 1,000 would move the needle, but
So
I just don't know.
I've said 250 up to 1,000, and it just depends on the size of the unit.
Yeah.
I don't want to say 1,000 and then have them give me a studio, and then me give them 250 and then get pissed off. I'd rather say 250 and then bring me something than me hand them 750 or 1,000, being like, great job.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I forgot. I have a property in upstate New York that's a regular property, and I called up the property manager and I said, this is what I'm doing. Do you know any property managers you can connect me with? And he said, no, but I know about 30 single family homes throughout the country that I can connect you with the owners. And he's the one who put this idea in my head. He said, would you be willing to partner? And I said, of course.
Makes sense. I like it. Yeah, and especially if he knows them, and if he can get you on the phone to pitch them.
Correct.
That's even better.
What I did was I gave him a few things to touch, like what I thought was important for him to touch with them about, because I want him to be able to pique their interest. And then anything else, he's supposed to say, you know, this is like a 20-minute phone call. You got to get in touch with these guys.
Yeah. Honestly, the phrase that I use is like 2 to 5x your income on these properties.
Well,
And
again,
then they're
that's
almost
with
like skeptical.
that's with the partnering of the owners. I'm looking to master lease.
Okay. So for them, it's like, okay, you're never going to have, I'll do a longer term lease. You won't have vacancy. We'll deep clean it multiple times a week. We'll put security cameras on it. You can go in and inspect it anytime you want. You're going to get automatic ACH deposits into your bank account every month. Just making it easy to do business with you.
Yeah, so I did the first 3. I forgot about the security cameras, the security cameras. So I'll add that to the list of having them, you know, give the soft pitch. And then anything else, I pretty much want them to come to me because I've just done this now 150 times, and it's going to be better than what he's going to do. Yep,
I agree. Totally.
That's where we're at. I mean, I just have a lot of webs, and I just need one to come through.
Yeah, it's honestly only going to take 1 or 2, and then once you get results for people, they're going to talk, and they're going to tell everybody that they know about it because they're going to be like, dude, you don't even know how much I'm making on my, or you know, these guys are amazing. Like they're taking such great care of my place. You know, I can't wait to give them more units. They're like so easy to deal with. I'm not getting calls to fix a toilet at midnight or change a light bulb or any bullshit like that.
That is something that I've made them talk about, which was, you know, anything less than $500, we just take care of. So they know that we're not going to be calling them very often.
Yep. Good.
I thought that was a big sell.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, good. Well, you guys are doing all the right things. Keep pounding the pavement, and it will happen.
Oh, believe me, I know.
All right, good. Demetrius, you're up.
Yeah. I mean, besides waiting to build out everything and furnish the whole house, I guess the only question I do have is starting out, is it beneficial to do one other room and just to watch how the cleaners are doing the first couple of weeks and making sure I have all of that in place before I head out?
Say that one more time, Demetrius.
Instead of renting the whole house, I was thinking possibly doing just one, or just doing one room as a rental and just to watch it for like the first couple of weeks, making sure that the cleaner's touching everything up after the guests are gone and all that kind of stuff, and get like feedback and kind of move the needle on getting reviews.
The only thing is, I don't know if you can change, you'll have to research it because I've never done it, but I don't know if you can change a listing from one room to an entire house. If you have to make a whole new listing, I don't think it's worth it for you.
Okay, so if I could change the status from one room to the whole house fluidly, then do it. If not, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's worth it. Because you're going to have some boots on the ground there after you move, right? Like you'll have your cleaners, you'll have a handyman, all that stuff, local people that you know there that could, quite frankly, go and FaceTime you from the house after the first cleaning if you want.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So, okay, cool. Any other questions?
No, just getting the photo ready for the coming soon. And I have
Awesome.
my wife do that and post it up and start building stuff.
Okay, cool. Let's see, Steven, you are up, sir.
All right, I'm mute myself. Walking to the car quick here. So I'll make a quick. I don't think Jamie has spoken yet, has she?
No, I think she said she was on a flight, right?
Hey, I landed. I'm okay.
Oh.
Ask yours. I'm going to ask my question once you're done.
Just didn't want to repeat anything. Okay, I'll make this quick.
I was going to ask about depreciation on furniture and kind of the offer that we have, if you want to fill them in.
All right, so we got an offer on the table right now. It's doing its usual, you know, it gets emotional. People do the back and forth thing. But where we are right now is that the house is furnished. And of course, they're coming at us with an invoice on, here's what we paid to furnish it and put all our colorful murals up on the wall because it's Orlando. However, it's 18 months ago, and of course they got some revenue from doing that. Excuse me. So in terms of furniture depreciation, I mean, the way we see it is that it's not new furniture. Do you consider overall, when you have your properties, that I'm going to have to refurnish it in 5 years? Or how does that work generally, Mike, when you're dealing with your properties?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'd have to refurnish it in 5 years. You're gonna have like standard like repairs and stuff. Like, if I were you in that negotiation, I would say yes, the house is furnished. If you really feel like how much are they trying to get you for the furniture?
Well, it's hard to
40.
say, right?
Yeah, no, they told us the breakdown. So they
said 40,000.
40. They're saying $40,000. Now, when I looked at the invoice, they spent $1,500 ridiculous dollars on putting colorful murals up, and some of that money. So I'd say about $5,000 in paint and blinds and things like that, and about $35,000 in furniture.
Okay,
And
so I'd be like, okay, what house doesn't come with blinds? I'd be like,
that's what I said. I said, I'm not paying for your paint and for your murals and your blinds. The furniture should be depreciated by a certain amount. And from our review of the tax literature, it appears that you can depreciate the furniture over the course of 5 years, at least for
I was going to say it's a 5-year depreciation life.
Right. So 18 months, you're looking at about 30% depreciation on 35,000. That takes $10,000 right off.
I would say take the furniture and I'll furnish it for 20. I'd be like, I don't need your furniture.
You know, that's
take your 40 off the table then, and I'll furnish it for 20.
Well, the reality is we're dealing with emotional sellers, what it is, right? And they're going to try to recoup everything they can. It's also a very unique market. I mean, how many management companies in Orlando are there that come in and scoop up an empty house and completely do it up? It's unique, and they know they can charge and get away with it because most people won't do it. And we're not interested in playing that game. It's to your point, Mike. You know what? Take your furniture. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is it doesn't matter because look all around you. You know, we're in a short-term rental development with 100 other houses just like us that are all furnished. So to me, it's just a common factor that you don't even consider. So that's why.
Why are they selling?
Yeah, they're foreign investors. I think that they bought them when they were first built, and they thought they could flip them over in a year and a half and sell them for what the new properties are now selling for and get out of the game. So they're putting all of their negatives on paper. It costs us this much, blah, blah, blah. We're not making any money, and they haven't put their positive revenue in that. And I said, you've got a positive column you guys aren't reporting, and we already know the numbers because the management company gave them to us. So you can't tell me you guys are just breaking even because you made 18 months worth of revenue on the house.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pay for your bad decisions when putting $40,000 worth of furniture in the house and watched it depreciate over 18 months. So, you know, we're not going to play that game. We're going to probably stick pretty close to the number that we want to do, but we just kind of wanted your insight on how to handle that part of it with you know, the furniture discussion, since they're getting kind of silly about line items.
Yeah. So I would do what I just said. And rule number 1 was real estate. This is my number 1 rule. And I told my wife, and it was a lot harder for her, but I was like, this is not an emotional game.
Exactly.
If we don't get this deal, I'm going to get another friggin' deal. So if it gets ridiculous, I'm not going to let it, I won't go that route. I'll walk.
Well, and
right?
That's what's happening
like
here. You see, it's getting emotional. And the reality is they just simply want to get top dollar because they see new houses right around it go at a higher price. And
I would just say, listen, here's what we're going to offer you. It's not brand new. Whether it's furnished or not, I don't care. Take your furniture then and take your 40K off. If you feel it's worth 40 grand, go ahead, take your furniture.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take 40 grand off of your tab. And then we'll keep it moving.
I even go one step further. I mean, just don't say anything. Here's the number, take it or not, and walk if they don't. But Mike, if I can jump in, because I did want to talk about something else. I've started to, I've downloaded Smart B&B, Turnover B&B, and I'm starting to get the systems in so that I can, getting logins and things like that to get going. Smart B&B really is for those automated messages that say, thank you for your for your reservation, and then it starts to ping like a week prior with the list and things like that. Correct? That's the purpose of Smart B&B.
It does a lot. It does
Okay.
a lot more than that. But what's your question?
Well, my question is, what does exactly, not exactly, but fundamentally, what does it do? Because I want to I can't answer that question right now, what Smart B&B does. And I'm trying to figure that
I
out.
look at it like it's your property management software. Because if you decide to go on HomeAway as well, which you probably will, being in Disney,
Okay.
it's going to integrate your calendars from Airbnb and VRBO. Although you'll probably not do it through Smart B&B, you'll just do it directly. But you'll have your messages all in one dashboard. It has amazing analytics, like the best. Like it blows the doors off the software I use now. Like I wish I could get the analytics that I got from Smart B&B. Like they're ridiculous. Like you'll be able to see all of your reviews from every property. You'll be able to see where every guest came from, what country, like all the way down. Like it's way in the weeds, the reports you can run through Smart B&B.
Okay.
It also has artificial intelligence. So you can set it up so it's like, it'll detect, oh, this is a question about the pool, and it'll spit back a response that you've programmed. Like, oh, it looks like you're looking for information about the pool. Here's where it's located. Here's the hours. Here's how you get access, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of things that it does, but it's basically like your automation. And for redundancy, yes, Turnover B&B notifies your cleaners, but I would also have Smart B&B text message my cleaners for reminders.
So do I need Turnover B&B?
I don't use it. I used it to find cleaners, quite frankly.
Okay, so that can be controlled right out of Smart B&B just through the message sending.
So the one thing that you will like initially, because Turnover B&B is cheap and it makes your life very easy because you can pay your cleaners through it. They confirm the bookings. I just do it through Guesty now, so I don't need Turnover B&B anymore. But like you'll be able to see, here's all of our reservations. Here's the ones that have been accepted by my cleaner. You can also have multiple groups of cleaners in there. So if Janie doesn't accept it or she gets sick, it'll kick it over to Susie. And then if she doesn't accept it, it'll kick it over to Jonathan or whoever. It's like you can have multiple different layers of cleaners in there. So you have backups on backups.
And that's Turnover B&B.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, I got a quick question on that.
Yep.
How are you, like we had our first cleaner, didn't do a great job. We're now going with our second cleaner and Turnover B&B. Are you personally inspecting the places? How are you verifying that they're doing a great job? Because
Get somebody else to go. Get a handyman to go and FaceTime with you.
Okay.
That's how I do it for my out-of-state properties.
Okay.
So I think it's fine to kind of get in there and play around, but I wouldn't go too crazy until you actually have a property.
Yeah, I was just creating login and passwords, and having it on my phone and the apps downloaded. That's all. Just to kind of get, because it's all so new. It's just to start become accustomed to whatever.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. But you're not going to be able to see a lot of the functionality until you actually have like a listing in there that you can like do stuff with, unfortunately.
No, that's fine. So you say a listing, so that means that actually having the listing open on Airbnb first. So that would be the first step, and then everything else comes after that.
Yep.
Okay. No, that's it for now. I appreciate it.
No problem. And my biggest advice is just don't get emotional about it. And if it works, if the numbers work and you guys are good with it, do the deal. If the numbers don't work, walk. I helped my brother negotiate his beach house. He got it for $125,000 less than what the owner was asking. And when I told him to put in the first offer, he thought I was out of my tree. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you. But you got to know why. Like this guy, as an example, the reason I'm asking why, like this guy was selling it and he was building another beach house. So he was either going to pay capital gains to our lovely country, or he could have just passed that 15% to my brother's young family with a baby. Like you're going to pay it one way or another. You're not going to 1031 out of this thing right now. So you can either give me the discount or you can give it to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing their situation and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then
no,
just, if it goes over a certain amount and the numbers don't work anymore, just don't do the deal, especially when you're buying.
Exactly. That's how I see it. It's kind of fun actually, do the back and forth and see where it lands. So
yeah.
Very good.
Cool. If you haven't read the book, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, I'd highly recommend it too.
I'll look it up.
We have it. It's awesome. It's a really, really good book.
I didn't realize it, by the way, but I actually went to college with his son, and I had no idea until he started talking about his son in the book. And I was like, wait a minute, he's talking about Brandon.
No way.
And then I reached out to him. I tried to get him on a Monday Night Live, and he was like, dude, my dad's so booked up. Like, I can't. I'm like, oh.
No.
Anyway, fun fact.
That's cool.
Let's see. Jamie, did you have another question?
No, that's it. That covers it. Thanks very much for your insight.
No problem. All right. Let me check the Facebook group real quick. See what we got. Kaylin, we have guests taking towels, cups, etc. We tried charging through Airbnb before and they just don't pay it. I called Airbnb and they said they can't do anything and it's not covered by Airbnb. How do you handle this issue? So I messaged her and Kevin privately, but I'll just let you guys know. So when you have people stealing shit like that, the problem is you're not charging enough. Like you're getting, quite frankly, shitheads in your property because you're charging a very minimal amount. So you're getting shitty guests. So what I would do, like, you're not going to change that, and Airbnb is not going to do what they should do. So I would just honestly factor that into your operating costs and just charge a little bit more. Add in like an extra $5 a night. So instead of charging $40 a night, charge $45 a night, and you just factor that in as an operating cost. Like that's the only other option that you have. And it sucks if people do that. But again, if you're charging $30 to $50 a night, you're going to attract cheap ass people that are going to like take shit and clean out your K-cups and your laundry pods and all this stuff. Like it's just, that's who you're attracting. I'm just telling you how it is. So I would just factor that into your operating costs and, add in a little buffer of $5 to $10 a night for people stealing shit, and then just buy all the stuff in bulk, keep it in a warehouse. Cause these guys already have, 10 listings or something. Just keep it on site somewhere and then replenish as you need. And that's how I would do it, to be totally honest. Let's see what else you got. Trinity asked, I was just wondering about posting my co-host properties. Am I supposed to be posting them under my own personal Airbnb account, or should I start an Airbnb account under my new LLC name? I would start a new account, most likely. I wouldn't set it up as a business though, because people like doing business with people. Like if you look at any one of my accounts, we have, God, I don't know, 5 or 6 now. They're all individuals. Like none of them is occupied LLC. Like it's all a person. So I would just recommend that you do it as a person, or if you're going to co-host and, some of the properties that I've taken on as of late, the owners want their own Airbnb account, which I'm totally fine, because if for whatever reason the relationship doesn't work out or they don't do what I need them to do for whatever reason, like that's fine. Then it kind of separates my business from them, and we can just shut off that one account and it doesn't ding my 5-star reviews on my profile. So I would, set it up as a personal account. Lucas said, so I had one guy book yesterday that was pre-approved but needed my approval. And Lucas, it's in your settings, buddy. You can set up how you want people to get pre-approved. It's in the course. I tell you guys what to check off for that. So go back and check that out in the course for instant booking.
Mike, I have a question about something you just spoke about.
Yeah.
Why do you, if you're partnering with an owner or you're master leasing, why do you have separate accounts? Like, wouldn't you want everything under one account so you can create this brand?
No, not really. Because as an example, one of the properties I launched in North Carolina, it's under their name. They wanted it that way. I'm fine with it. The first time that the guest checked, our first group that came in the other day, the hot tub wasn't working and we didn't get it working till their last day. And then the roof started leaking literally right onto the sleeper sofa. So obviously we're going to get a shitty review from that guest. If I had a shitty review on my overall profile from them, like I wouldn't like that very much. Now, when I build my own website, yes, they will all be listed under my website, but on Airbnb, no, I have a lot of different accounts that I use. It's like diversifying your portfolio, diversifying your risk.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because now that one property is going to have one terrible review, and it'll take a year to really get out of a 3 or 2 star review or some amount of time. Whereas that if they were all under one account,
you say that, but if there's no reviews, you get 1 star review, then the next one you get a 5-star review. Now you're up to 3, and you get another 5-star review, you're up to 4. You get another 5-star review, you're up to 5.
So same thing, if they're on here, maybe I'm missing something, but my thought is that if you're on one account, when you start to mass email people, they get to go to one page and see. Now, obviously when you have a website, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. You're not going to email people and send them to an Airbnb website?
Well, you know how you said collect the emails, and
yep.
I would
so that you can send them to your own website at some point, not back
later on. Okay.
Yes. Because you basically want to become like OTA, like whatever that stands for, like the Airbnbs and the VRBOs of the world. You want to become independent, where you have your own source of recurring guests. Like the hotel that we're buying, I've already had 2 people message me that I have no idea who they are, but the previous owner has a database of customers that return every year. Like we're already getting bookings. I haven't even closed on the property yet. So the whole point is to just build a database, and then you can let them know when you launch a new property to send them to an Airbnb account. But at the same time, just let them know, like, it's under so-and-so's name. It honestly doesn't matter. But based on my experience and the experience of people that have a lot of listings, never have more than 9 listings in one account. It just seems to be the magic number.
Okay.
All right. And quite frankly, a lot of owners just want the peace of mind that if the relationship doesn't work out, they don't lose everything.
Yeah, I mean so that's obviously a separate issue, and you kind of got to do what the owners want.
Yeah. So like my personal account has 9, and then I have the North Carolina account has 2. This Texas account has 2. I just set up, yeah. So at the end of the day, just the rule of thumb, I wouldn't have more than 9 in one account. And don't get offended if an owner wants to have it in their own name. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's no
not
problem
a big
if they want to have it in their own name.
But the brand that you're building is not an Airbnb brand. That's your own brand. It's occupied. It's whatever your brand is. So your website will have everything.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got.
While you're looking for the next one, in regards to that question that the woman gave you about people stealing her stuff, would you ever recommend having a deposit, or is that just, bad?
No, you can, but I find that it's very difficult actually getting, because Airbnb collects a deposit, you don't. So whether you collect a deposit or not, I just find that it's difficult in those situations to prove that people stole shit and to actually get it reimbursed from Airbnb. If they break stuff, it's very easy because you take pictures of it, you send it in, you have evidence of it. But when it's quote unquote stolen, it's a lot harder to prove. And I find Airbnb just doesn't approve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, haven't noticed that it affects your customers' booking.
In what sense?
Like people aren't going to book a property that's going to require them to put a deposit down. They'll
No,
look
I
for
think
one that doesn't.
it's pretty standard.
Okay.
Lucas said my first guest was booked in Friday and is supposed to check out tomorrow. He's asked me if he can stay another night because he's enjoying it so much. You have to go in and remove the cleaning fee for the extra night and get him to book it. No, you just do a reservation alteration, which I included the link in my response. You can do it, but I found for whatever reason on my app and on my side, I don't have the option to do it. You're supposed to, but for whatever reason, mine's like glitchy and I can't. So I just have to call Airbnb or I ask the guests to just go in and alter their reservation and then I approve it. Lucas, I got my first booking, trying to sort out how to set up my operation now. I have my PayPal account linked to my bank account. Any way to get that to? I would just set it up to deposit to a bank account. I don't think you need to have it to a PayPal account. It's just adding a middleman and adding fees. Just have it deposited into a bank account. I'm working through to understand Smart B&B better. Looks like the platform has changed since the training video was shot. Any suggestions or tips? I mean, the platforms are going to change constantly, buddy. You just got to, quite frankly, implement what I teach you guys. If it looks a little different, it doesn't matter. The principles are still the same. Like you'll still be able to do everything, all the functionality of the system. I got it. Price Labs, I got it. I think I got it sorted out, but I'd like some help getting my customization nailed down to optimize my bookings. Any help me out there? I don't know what you're asking. So just follow the blueprint that we put out in the program, and then you're just going to learn it over time. You're going to figure out how long, what's your average booking, how far in advance do people book. You just need more data. You're not going to have enough data. Let Price Labs do its thing. That's what you're paying for, and let them set the pricing. Is it properly that we're using for coordinating cleaning and other services? No, turnover B&B. Kudos to Nina and Dave McNamara, who got their property featured, which is freaking awesome. And I think scan it through a little bit more. Yeah, Daniel posted a question, Chad, but I think we already talked about that. The flat rate versus giving them a piece of the action, which is fine. All right, cool. So I think that is it. Dan, what's up, buddy? You got any questions?
What's up, Mike? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, man. Quick follow-up to last week. Remember we were talking about my Cleveland house? I'm going to take her suggestion. I'm not going to do the August lock in the back door. Although my wife is like, well, how are you going to know if they leave the door open? I know you said ring cameras, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking about buying the 2-pack and adding one. I'm going to put one on the garage that kind of points at the house.
Yep.
And then I think I'm going to put one on the back of the house that shoots toward the back. Just because I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy one, there's like they have the ones for $100 that can like
don't get the doorbell one because it's a pain in the butt. It doesn't have rechargeable batteries. So I know the doorbell 2 was like $200, but the battery's gonna last, right? So we've got one here, and then we added spotlight cam on that tree so that we can monitor this huge backyard. So you can do that one too, and that one's hardwired, so you don't have to deal with that.
So the I do have the doorbell too for the front door.
Okay.
And then there's a there's $100 camera or a $200 spotlight camera. Do you have experience with both of those types of cameras?
So the spotlight works great. I don't know what the $100 one is though. Which one?
It's like a stick up cam, it's called. And
I think those are supposed to be like interior ones. Don't use that.
You sure about it's indoor outdoor? There's a stick up cam, an indoor stick up cam for $60, and then there's an indoor outdoor for $100.
I have not used it before, to be honest, so I can't say yay or nay. Ring is pretty good in general. Is it battery powered, or how does that work? Or do you have to plug it in?
Both kinds. My guy can, the contractor of the house now can hardwire. So, because I don't want to mess with batteries.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you can hardwire it, that's even better.
Yeah, I was just trying to, I guess, save money, spending like I guess $200 on one camera, or getting 2 cameras for $200, and having more camera angles, I guess. It's, I don't know what to do,
So do a little research on it. Check out the reviews. Because the last thing you want to do is get one and then find out that it sucks. And then you're going to go spend like $400 on 2 new ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll just ask you, what do you normally do at your house? Does it just vary per property? And like what, as far as
it varies.
Yeah.
So like the one in Dallas, it's a pretty big house, and he had some of the first generation ones. So this is the front door that we're telling guests not to use because we don't want them parking out on this main street in this quiet neighborhood. So plus this door, to change this lock, this is like a 1920s freaking lock that like would have just been a pain in the ass to change. But this is a Gen 1. So to charge this, you have to take the entire thing off the wall to charge it, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So we put that one out here just as like a safety precaution because he's got 2 of them, so we can keep one charged and then just swap the whole camera out. Then in the back, I just showed you, we've got one at the door, a spotlight cam on the backyard, and then there's one on the front of the garage, because in this property, they come in this door, but they have to go park outside and then walk through this garage and come out that door. So we've got a few of them here, but it's a big house. And just the way that it's laid out, like I just wanted to have eyes on it. Especially for larger houses, right? Like, cause you just want to make sure that there's not like 25 people coming in. With the smaller ones, I find it's not as much of an issue, and I just do like the 1 Ring doorbell camera on the entrance. For the duplex in Everett, outside of Boston, it's we'll call it a gentrifying area. So we just put doorbell cameras on every door. So every door we've got eyeballs on, because when they were like rehabbing the property, like shit would just go missing. So I wanted eyes on every door. So.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that answers your question, but it's kind of property by property.
Yeah. I think I'm still not sure. I might just spend the money and get the spotlight cam because it has the lights. So I guess it would work better at night. It works better at night.
That was what we went with originally in New Hampshire, like the first one we did. And I didn't have to worry about batteries or anything else. It's hardwired in. It shines right on them as they come up, and you can see everything. So that one works really good.
Yeah, I might just go with that one instead of just buying two of the ones without the light.
Yep. Cool. So how far out are you from launching, you think?
I think the rehab should be done. I'm probably going to take a trip out there next weekend or the weekend after, and then do a final walkthrough with the contractor, and then furnish it at this point.
Love it.
So my goal is February 1st.
Okay, cool.
And then
now, where do you live?
New York City.
Oh, okay. So you're not too far from me then.
Yeah. But I'm from Cleveland, so that's where I'm comfortable, and I know the area, and my family and friends are all still, I've lived here for 12 years, but I know Cleveland very well, and I know the market. I used to be a realtor there, so
Okay, cool.
As long as this one goes well, I plan on buying more out there.
Nice. Are you gonna
Yeah.
try and burr it out, or what do you think?
I think so. I mean, although I might be able to not refi this one yet because I have funds coming in from a Jersey project that I'm finishing up. So, but yeah, that's the plan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. We'll have to do a little case study on this one too, because I'm not sure how many other people are doing out-of-state ones. So it's nice to see. Well, I shouldn't say that. Jamie and a few other people, but it's nice to see, like, that was the biggest fear, like when I was first getting this thing started, was like, can I do it out of state? And then quite frankly, that's why I've continued to do it in a bunch of different states, just for like proof of concept that like you can do it freaking anywhere as long as you just have the right team in place.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would love to do it in other areas. I just picked Cleveland just because I have so much support there and know so many people that that's the easiest, to start with.
yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Any other
Mike.
questions?
Yeah, Mike, it's Steven. I may have missed this in the training, but I don't think I've ever heard you mention Wi-Fi thermostats. You ever install them, or do you have a reason not to?
I mean, you can. It's not a big focus for me. Only because, like, my biggest focus was how can I keep eyeballs on the property all the time?
Yeah.
Like, my cleaners know to reset the thermostats to a certain temperature. So, like,
I see.
you know what I mean? Like, we have nests in some of the properties, like this one has a nest, but
Yep.
I don't. Some folks get into setting up all these automations, so when a guest checks out, like, it reverts it to this and that. I don't know, maybe I'm just slow, but I like to just keep it simple and just tell my cleaners, hey, set it to 62. And then when the guest gets here, if they want to crank it up, they crank it up.
I see. Like, I've got, a cheap old $100 Honeywell at home, and I love it. You go on a trip, 20 minutes
Yep.
from home, you turn it back up, that kind of thing. And speaking of that, the other one, since you can tell I'm a little bit on I like to tech it up, is automated pools. Because especially in Florida, you hear about having to send the handyman over to turn the heat on, right? Automating the entire pool from my cell phone from anywhere is very enticing. Have you heard anyone do it before?
I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest with you. Sounds cool. I've never done it personally.
All right.
The more that you can control remotely, though, the better, especially in out-of-state property.
Exactly. I'll let you know what happens.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool. All right.
All right, guys. Anything else? No other questions? All right, then we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys, as always, for showing up, playing full out, asking good questions, and taking action. So we will catch you guys next week.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Bye, guys.
Have a good week.